This week, we are going to discuss what an escrow account is and deep dive into the Wright County market update. Of course, we'll talk about the Twin Cities a little bit as well. I'm Erica Carlson. I'm with Bricks Real Estate, and I am excited to introduce you to Molly Zimmerman from Bell Bank Mortgage. We're both local real estate professionals. She's on the lending side. I am helping people buy and sell real estate in the Western Metro. That's what I specialize in. If you would like a discovery call or you have any questions, don't hesitate to get a hold of us. The link is below. And when you pick the first option, it will bring up the calendar and you can pick a time that works best for you. If you learn anything new today, I would love for you to join my growing channels, whether you're finding this on Facebook. I do have a professional page that you can look up, and then the Instagram and the YouTube as well. So any of those channels is where I'm updating things weekly, or I'm trying to, might need to back down a little bit. Sometimes that's a little pushing it for my schedule, if you will. So without further ado, let's bring Molly on to talk about escrow accounts. This is great.
Talking about an escrow account, it's kind of like a confusing concept. So I like to have this conversation with buyers up front, because when you close on a property, you've got your loan, which is, a certain payment of principal and interest. But unless you put 20% down, you do not have the option to you basically, with less than 20% down, we also have to add property taxes and homeowners insurance into that monthly payment. But we have no control over property taxes and home insurance and what those fees are. So I like to call an escrow account, it's almost like a savings account to hold on to your money. So we're going to take 1/12 of the tax payment annually, 1/12 of the annual insurance premium, add it to your monthly payment, and put that money into this escrow account every single month as you make your payments. So we can make your tax and insurance payments as they come due in the future.
Okay.
That's essentially what an escrow account is.
And what confusion or what's common questions you have around this topic?
I think first and foremost, consumers get very confused about the fact that for homeowners insurance, we have to pay a year at closing, but we also have to set aside a couple extra months in that escrow account. Easiest way to explain that is when you close on a property, if your closing date is, let's just say October 30th, your insurance premium covers you from October 30th through October 30th of the following year. Your first mortgage payment doesn't start until December 1st. So if you do the math, we're not collecting 12 payments from you before we have to make your next annual insurance payment. So we always put a couple extra months at the closing inside that escrow account. So we're building it up throughout the course of the year. That tends to be confusing, but also the fact that every single year as a servicer, we have to look at that escrow account and say, have your taxes gone up? Has your insurance premium gone up? And if they have, we need to adjust your payment accordingly to potentially make up for a shortage in that account, but also plan for those future higher payments. So in a nutshell, taxes and insurance are the only thing that are going to make your mortgage payment increase in the future. But it's common when that does happen. We get a lot of phone calls. Why did you make my mortgage payment go up? And we have to look back and say, well, your taxes went from, X amount to here. Your insurance increased from here to here. That's what made your payment increase.
Right. Yeah. And I think I might have shared this with you before, but not long ago, I had a pretty extensive conversation with somebody who was continuing to pay Hennepin County for their taxes, but they also had the escrow account, and they just weren't listening, or they didn't understand, because obviously there's so much information coming at you when you're first buying a house. And it's not, he was also on the young side of, human beings, like a very young person to buy a house. And so he started paying Hennepin County, and this would have not been discovered had he not reached out to me to sell his house. And all of a sudden I'm pulling up tax information, and I go, Hennepin County has double the money they need from you. And I'm not representing the county or the state by any means, but I don't think from what I understand, they don't just send it back to you. So if you're really not following and understanding, this is an important question. I mean, that's not a common thing I've seen, but like now, he would have to call Hennepin County and arrange to get the payment back and explain to him that, or to them that they didn't understand the process. So it's important everybody does on the front side, because I think you still get the tax. Um, don't you get it like twice a year, whether you have an escrow account or not? I believe everybody does.
You do. So that the county is still going to send you your tax statement. And sometimes it's confusing because it might say your taxes are paid through escrow. Doesn't always say that. But you get that statement. I say it's still important because what you should be doing is paying attention to your increases. So like looking at, what did I pay last year in property taxes? What has it gone up to this year? Because that's going to be your indication that your payment is going to adjust and it's going to go up. I think the bigger thing that I've noticed this year is homeowners insurance, because we've noticed insurance premiums have gone up pretty significantly in the state of Minnesota. So people are somewhat shocked when they see their payment increase because they didn't pay attention to their renewal and what their insurance renewed at. So
okay.
I tell my buyers, if you get this information, please reach out to me directly. I can help you look at your past payments, what it's increasing to, help you plan for potentially a higher payment in your escrow. Or, sometimes there's red flags. Hey, your insurance increased by 60%. Maybe you should talk to your insurance agent and have some conversations.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Well, I think that this is helpful because again, there's so many pieces that are confusing when you've never purchased a house before. It will become normal and regular, once you go from renting to owning a house, it all kind of, falls together and becomes normal. But I appreciate you coming out today and meeting me and having this conversation. If you guys have any other questions about anything loan related, please reach out to Molly. We've got her information in the link below. And as usual, you can reach out to me anytime with real estate questions. Have a